on my way to the train station to go to Madrid. And you will notice I am burned as hell because I forgot sunscreen like a noob. So, hurting myself, whatever. Madrid. Okay, so look, I'm not like the worst at maps. Like usually I can get around, but this map is killing me. There, like half the streets here aren't labeled, and I cannot. It doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to use the Googly Maps, which I hate doing, but I'm gonna have to do it. Also, each street sign here seems to have a different decoration or illustration, which I think is really cool. Monastery, I think. So it's raining quite a lot in Madrid, to the point that this fountain fixture seems a bit superfluous. But I mean, here are a couple of silver linings. Silver lining number one: the cool weather feels really nice on my sunburn. Not that it's like directly exposed, but it's nice to be out of the heat. And then silver lining number two: there's like way fewer tourists than I think would be here usually. This right here is the Royal Palace, and you can imagine like it would normally be overrun with people, and right now there's like clusters here and there, but generally speaking it's kind of empty, which makes it a lot easier for me. I'm sorry if you're really close to my hand, but this is as far from my face as I can get the camera without it being under the water. Like, there we go. Comfortable distance. So yeah, I'm going to continue walking around for as long as I can. My shoes are already getting a little bit wet. I'm going to try to go to the Prado today because rain equals museums generally, and it's free admission between like 6 and 8 p.m. So I'm going to keep walking around until then. It's like 4:30 now. Might duck into a cafe to get something to eat because I haven't eaten since like an apple at 11 today. So, plan. Keeping it positive, even though it's crazy rainy in Spain. The rain in Spain! Okay, I feel better now. But you can't really see the guy's face in here. All you see is the horse, which I respect. But for the record, that's his face. Oye, teatro real. Teatro real. That is pretty damn Spanish. to it, Dad, y'all. I just came out of the Prado Museum, and, well, I wasn't allowed to film in there for one thing. I got scolded for trying it once, so you won't see any footage from there, but I saw some famous stuff, and some imitations of famous stuff that are in other places. But my main, I guess, thought of the Prado is, like, it is overwhelmingly religious. Like, the same paintings of the Ascension and the, can't even think what the terms are, but when he goes up on the crucifix and when he gets taken down, and just so much Jesus, so much baby Jesus and adult Jesus and dying Mary and sad Mary. And at what point does lots of religion become too much religion? Because I think I hit my limit well early into the exhibition. And then a lot of portraits as well. So I'm very glad that I got in for free. By the way, I got in for free. Because I don't think I would be satisfied if I paid for it. Also, I'm hangry, which means that my patience is quite low. I need to eat something. Haha, but you can't stop me filming here, outside of the Prado. Had an entirely lovely, kind of unexpectedly lovely meal at a local taverna, like maybe 3 minutes walking from my hostel. I just kind of struck out randomly and found a place that had a nice looking menu, and for like 14 euros I had a pint of beer and like a substantial meal. It was like oven roasted pork in this like port wine sauce, and then walnuts, and like beautiful like potato puree with like cheese in it or something, and then like these roasted vegetables, and it was just really, really good. And bread. Really enjoyable. Loved it. Also, they gave, you know, a lot of places will give you like a little thing to nibble on while you're waiting for your food, and they gave me this plate of green olives, and I generally am not an olive person. In fact, not even generally. I'm just not an olive person. I have never really liked them. But I was like, well, you know, when in Madrid, do as the Madridians do. So I tried an olive, and I don't know if I like actively liked it, like I wasn't gagging to eat 10 more, but I didn't dislike it. I wonder if it was like the oil on it or something, but the actual olive wasn't that like strong, which is usually what I don't like about it, like especially with green olives, like it's usually a very strong flavor, but it was like a slightly spicy oil that was on it that just tasted really good. And I liked it, and I had more than one. I had two. And that kind of like sums up, or like concludes my evening in my first day in Madrid. It was kind of it could very easily have been a disappointing day because of all the rain and everything, but you know, I'm pulling out that American positivity, and I had a lovely day, and I went to the Prado and wasn't super satisfied, but I got in for free, so who's complaining? And tomorrow, well, we'll take that on as it comes. But in any case, I am still quite sunburnt. Oh, that's bad. It currently hurts to wrinkle my forehead. It's like, ow. But it's not so hot to the touch anymore. I also realized that I did a totally, like, noob burn thing, and I had my arms, wait, let me frame it this way. When I was lying in the park in Valencia, I had my arms slightly bent, and so the crease of my elbow, it's hard to tell with the camera, but the crease of my elbow isn't nearly as burnt as the rest of my arm, so I just got this, like, burn gap, which is annoying, but it'll all fade eventually. And in the meantime, I've just got this really ugly farmer's tan. Ooh, yeah. So, yeah, I am determined to like Madrid. And so far, I don't dislike it. Again, it's like the olives. I don't dislike it. I just need more time to appreciate it. And luckily I've got like 3 more days here, so should be good. Okay, I'm going to bed now. Oh yeah, one other thing is I studied Spanish in middle school and high school for about 7 years, but then after junior year of high school I kind of stopped trying to speak Spanish. Like, it was literally after the AP test was over, I really didn't even consider pursuing it. I stayed with French in college and in grad school and everything, and study abroad, and kind of always remembered that I used to study Spanish, but didn't really try to use it, and so I have forgotten a lot of it. I still remember a lot of the grammar and a lot of the really basic words. Like, I can still count. And I can still understand it when it's written, but I can no longer, it's a really quite a struggle to speak for myself. My brain just wants to substitute in French words in a Spanish accent. And that's another thing, is when I was in the U.S. learning Spanish, most of my teachers were from South America, or, like Colombia and Ecuador and places like that, and so I have more of a South American accent when I speak Spanish, or I had more of a South American accent when I spoke Spanish. And now I'm in Spain, where it's all very lispy and so I have a hard time understanding them anyway, and I would have had a hard time understanding them in high school, so it's definitely a challenge. But all of that said, I think my Spanish is kind of starting to come back a little bit. In the last couple of days, I've kind of taken it upon myself to not speak English with Spanish people unless absolutely necessary, or unless they're, they've got like some really complicated thing, and I absolutely need to be sure to understand what they're saying. But it's been rudimentary. I know they can tell right away that I'm not a Spanish speaker, but they usually humor me. I think maybe because I have some semblance of an accent, that they can tell that I'm not just saying it to be kind of patronizing, that I actually am trying to speak Spanish, and it has been coming back in the past couple of days. I'm remembering words that I don't think I knew a week ago, or remembered a week ago, and so slowly but surely, Spanish is coming back to me. All of that probably will not stick around much longer after this Spanish trip. Maybe it'll kind of resurge again the next time I come to Spain, but for now I'm just glad that it hasn't gone away completely. So again, another silver lining.